Hey, hey there, everybody. Yeah, it's gonna be my fourth attempt at this video now, but the hell with it. It's what is it, about 9 o'clock? Yeah, about 9 o'clock here. You can tell Germany's in the northern hemisphere, as it's still enough light outside to film with. But yeah, I want to talk to you guys about party life in college in Germany. Actually, that building behind me is where I go to class. It's the old campus of TU Chemnitz. And that happens to be where the IT department, informatic, is located. So it's actually kind of nice. I live pretty close to here. It's not a real big pain in the butt for me to get to class. But yeah, partying, alcohol. Alcohol is the one I want to talk about at college, because I don't think a 10-minute video can adequately cover alcohol in Germany. I mean, if beer isn't one of the first words that come to your mind whenever someone says Germany, then you understand a different Germany than I do. But sorry. Yeah, so this is really for Americans again. Like I said, I've never been to Australia or South Korea or Japan or any of these places where like I said, I make a distinction between the people who can come here literally with no visa and apply for a visa in Germany versus the people who have to apply for a visa outside of Germany. But I guess for this purpose, I don't really know that much. But for Americans, I understand Americans. So in America, where I went to college, it was it felt like it was really forbidden, like a police state or something. So you always had to have your IDs and everything, and then in the dorms and stuff, it was always a giant, we had to be so sneaky and everything, and definitely couldn't be loud or you'd have the RA knocking on the door, and and God forbid somebody was under 21. So the first thing you should know is that drinking age in Germany is 16. There are some stipulations of that. 16 is to drink beer and wine, and you can't be in a bar or a club after midnight. At 18, it's basically like the American 21. 18, everything's allowed. You can do it all. So that already kind of like does away with the whole oh my God, it's the police, la la la, that type of partying on an American campus atmosphere. Another big thing is that in Germany you're allowed to drink in public. There's a few towns or areas in some towns where they've had problems with drunkenness, like bums or people getting into fights or something like that, where they might temporarily ban it. But generally in Germany, you walk down the street with a beer. It's no big deal, and beer is sold almost everywhere. So yeah, it's no big deal. So like in an American party, sometimes I know you've all heard stories. Hell, you might have experienced it. If you step off the sidewalk in the wrong place with a beer in your hand and a cop's there, you can get hit with a massive open container fine. I got hit with one years and years ago, and I think it was like $380. That sucked. That's the most expensive beer I've ever had. But yeah, and so I've been to, whenever I was in a bachelor's degree, I did 3 exchange student programs, and one was in Bayreuth, which is in northern Bavaria. Another one was in Fulda, which is Hessen, and then one in Salzburg, which is in Austria. And the one in Hessen was technically a Fachhochschule, what they call a University of Applied Science, which is basically, from what I've read, They generally, you have, they don't award PhDs. And the masters that they award, you don't have to do a research project. The place behind me is what they call a technical university. It's definitely more, it's not a liberal arts university, even though they do have some bachelor programs like English or German or something like that. Anglistic or Americanistic or Communistic. But the main field of study here is technical engineering or computer programming and stuff like that. Chemistry and biology, all that good stuff. But yeah, so every university I went to, except for the one that was the University of Applied Sciences, that was kind of small. It kind of made me think of like a high school or something, an American high school, a bigger American high school, 1,500 people or something. But the other universities I've been to are full-fledged universities, and everyone had a bar. I mean, it's like a campus bar. I mean, it's not a bar that's on campus, it's a campus bar. It's like, well, it's both actually, but it's usually ran at a cheaper price by like a student club type of thing. It's really not that much for profit, or what little bit of profits that are made to go right back into the thing. So usually the beer's cheap there. Depends. The cheapest I experienced was probably in Bayreuth. I think here I was there Thursday night, and I think we were paying €2 for a half liter, which isn't terrible. Believe me, that's pretty damn good actually. So not only do you have to not worry about being carded and police and all that crap. I mean, there's bars on the campus. And then where I lived in Salzburg, they had like these Studentenheim, what they call them. It's kind of like our dormitories, but these are like private apartments, but you have to be a student to live there. I don't know which apartment, how it works. Some of Germany's new guests are about to walk by. You'll probably hear them. But yeah, they had bars in the basement. These were like private apartments. You had to be a student to live there. I don't know how it worked. It was cheaper. I don't know if they were getting state subsidies or what. I don't know how that operated. But they all had bars in the basement, and it was like each one would be open for like 2 days a week, but it would always be alternating different days of the week, so you could skip around to the different ones at different buildings. Beer dispensing machines, like soda machines. They got beer machines, and I just found out there's some around here too. I don't live in the dorms here, but I just found out the other night. So there's bars in your dorms. Student parties. Like, not this building, I'd have to go show you. I had to go to the other campus, but they had this huge fucking party where it was like where the cafeteria and all that stuff is, where they have classes and stuff. And they just take everything out one night, put it in a storage room, and have a big party, and then clean it up the next day. I mean, imagine that in America. I can't. Good luck with that. Sometimes you have to pay an entry fee, sometimes not. If you do, it's not more than €3 or €4. They have those. And those can be a lot of fun, actually. Like the last one I went to, they had multiple dance rooms, multiple DJs, and it could have been maybe 1,000, 1,500 people there. It was a pretty big damn crowd. And I guess last thing I want to talk about too is they stay open late, really late. In my town where I lived last in America, by law they had to close at 1 o'clock. and at night. Here, a lot of places close at 3. But I know places that routinely stay open to 4 or 5. I've even seen 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning before they kick you all out. Oh, that's a big difference than in America from my point of view. Like, what? We seriously can stay here till the sun comes out? And it's not uncommon to go out to a bar in Germany and come back out, you know, and especially in the summertime when the sun comes up early, and then come out and it's like, fuck, where's my sunglasses? It's actually, for me as an American, that just blows my mind. Like I said, I didn't live in New York City or somewhere like that. Oh, and I guess another thing, in lots of parts of Germany, all beer comes in this size. Say hello to Braustolz, Chemnitz local beer. But, yeah, everything's a half liter. So you're already bigger beers than in America. Oh, and if you're in the right place, this is technically cheaper per the ounce than in America. So, another thing to be prepared about. I've heard it said on another channel or something. Or if you have a problem with alcohol, Germany might not be the best place for you. But if you do have a problem with alcohol, they'll be more tolerant of it around here than they probably would be in America. Alright, I guess that's my video for now. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. See ya.